Hello, my name is Toshisna, and in this video you will learn how to make an interactive cool cat that will follow the cursor with its eyes. For the ones who want to skip the design part and just know how to make target controls, constraints, go to this timestamp, and in my description you will find a project with only the design. Let's start by bringing the reference in the project. I took it on Pinterest. The link is in the description if you want to do it from your side as well. So the first step will consist in drawing all the layers. That will include naming them, organizing into groups, etc. I advise to split layer creations into different steps. Like for example, we can start by doing all these little lightnings here. This is good to start with sharp shapes because it's quite simple way of using the pen. So for that you will need to click on the pen icon or just press P. To move around, click on the middle mouse button and zoom in and out with Ctrl plus mouse scroll. Then just follow the shape of the reference here, like this. Like this. And done. So once you've done editing your mesh, you can just press enter or escape or click on the done editing button here. I strongly suggest you hit escape and not enter or done editing button because when you will create a path, again it will do it inside the same custom shape here. Be aware that you need to have a custom shape for each path you make. This is very important for later. Okay, so now you can create another shape. So for example, we can start, we can hide this. No, this one. Now shape this. Done. Press escape. And now do it again. I think we are done. Wait, maybe one more here. And we can just, be creative a bit. Like this. Why not? This one as well. So once you've done all the sharp lightnings, we can start doing the little sparkles. So let's start a new mesh by clicking on pen icon. And click to create your first vertex. Hold it and point it into the direction you want to draw. So here we're gonna do this. This is to avoid your origin vertex to be straight, and when you finish your loop of vertex, the transition between the last and the first one will be smoother. So there are different types of control points when editing a mesh in Rive. We can see it here. There are straight points, no handles, it's the default one. Edges between them are perfectly straight, so when you just click here, it's completely straight. So for the moment, we just use them. Then there are mirrored points. So this is basically two handles that stay symmetrical, creating curves. So if you want to move this handle, it will move the other. The third one is detached points. So two independent handles you can move freely, allowing asymmetric curve on each side. So here we're gonna click it. And you can just move here and it won't affect the other. And the third one is like a bit like mirrored points, but this one stays symmetrical on the rotation, but not on the length. Like here, see how the other control point isn't affected when touching the length of it, but is when you rotate, Okay, so when you click and drag, it automatically sets a mirrored point. The problem here is like it has to be detached points. Let's just finish our shape before, right there. And now we can just change the type of control points. So here like this, again. And finally. There are way more efficient ways to do this, but I like this one because it's kinda imperfect and I think it's quite beautiful when it's not exactly symmetrical. So once you've finished, you can make some adjustments here and there, just duplicate it. But before, maybe naming it Sparkle. And then when you duplicate it, it it will just make sparkle 2, etc. It could be more organized. Make sure to duplicate the shape and not the path. So to adjust the scale proportionally, press Shift plus drag here. And do this little one here as well. You see sparkle 3, right? And one here as well, sparkle 4. All right, do this one here. It wouldn't be easy, just not so complex. Maybe like this. All right. Now let's group them properly. So we have sparkle 5. Let's group it into sparkle group. And now let's group the lightnings into lightnings group. We can even group both and we can name it particles. Nice. Now we will start doing the cat base, so the cat background. That will be the only parts of our canvas that won't move. So all the rest of the canvas will be moving. So it includes the ears, the face, and also the shading and all the particles we've just done. So for this shape, we will make a different path in the same shape, since we want one shape for all the cat background, which will be the same color anyway. So let's grab our pen tool to make the neck first. Now we can make the face with ellipse. You can also play with the reference here, reduce it a bit, the opacity. You can convert ellipse by clicking edit vertices, so you can adjust in a better way. Now let's make the two last parts. If you are uncomfortable with the magnet tool, you can deactivate it here, deactivate snapping. Now, since we made all the passes in the same shape, we can just color the shape and it will color all of it. So let's take this blackish color. I will choose this one. And by the way, I will put all the colors I used in the description. Okay, great. Now we can do lights. Make light shapes. We will this time use one shape for each path, since we want to use different colors for each light. Group them, name it, lights. I will use this blue color and this yellow one. Put them below background face. Now group background face and background face lights and name the latter cat background. Okay, now let's start making the ears of our cats. So let's make the background first. Now let's make the gradient shading. And change the color type to linear. Change the color control points direction like this. And let's choose this color for the bottom of our ear. Let's move on to the second shape for the interior of our ear. Make the shape gradients. Now for the right ear, you can notice that the left part of the ear is yellow, while the right one is black. So now we will use linear color type and choose first color yellow and second black, and make yellow left and black right. Let's then group both shapes and name it L ear. Now let's put both ears below the background of our head. Now, to reproduce these two lines, let's grab our pen again and trace that, then press enter and not escape, because we want both of our paths in the same shape for this one. Then delete the fill and add a stroke. Let's make it big and change the color to a reddish one. If you want to re-edit both of your paths at the same time, you can select both of the shapes and click on Edit Vertices. Now you can adjust it so it fits just like the reference. The last thing we will do is making these blue lights. Place it below the right ear, color blue. And now we are done for the ears. Now let's start making the face. So we can begin with the nose because it's quite simple. Here just one shape. We're gonna do this sharp. Then after that we can play a bit with the corner property. Here round it a bit. Let's color it with the previous red color we used before. Let's call it nose. Now let's make the whiskers. So quite simple. Let's use the pen and use them all in the same shape. So all the path of our whiskers will be in the same shape. And now we can use a gradient for all the path we just made. So make a gradient here and let's make blue on the side because the lights come from the right here, as you can see. And on the left one, we will put a black color, but maybe a lighter color than the cat background so we can see it better. Concerning the mouth, let's start with the background like this. And then make the gradient with the same color as the ears. For the tongue it's quite simple, just go to Create Tool, Selections and choose Ellipse. Place it like the reference and then we will choose the red color of the nose. But now you see the tongue is quite goofy right now, so we will need to make the tongue appear only inside the mouth. So let's use the clip constraints and target to our mouth. Now let's make the teeth here. Select those two vertex points and round it a bit. Color it, I'm gonna choose this one. And why not adding some shading to the teeth as well? So this and this one as well. Apply this color and now it's clipping time. So let's clip the light to the teeth here and add some feather by clicking the little feather icon here. Let's set it to 2. I think it's quite good like this. Group them and name it teeth. And clip the latter to the mouth. Okay, we almost finished the design part. The last part will consist in doing the eyes. So a lot of ellipse. Let's start making the black ellipse. I suggest to put the reference up front like this. Then the beige color. Then white eyeball. We'll clip our white eyeball to the beige one. Dark orange pupil. Then the dark orange will be clipped to the white eyeball. Orange gradient pupil. And the same for the orange gradient, which will be clipped to the white eyeball as well. The reflection sphere. And then same for the sparkle. In white as well. Let's now do the same for the right eye, trying to fit the reference. Alright, once done, we will color our lightnings and sparkles now. Let's color the sparkles first. So this one is yellow. This one as well is yellow. This one. And do this for all the rest of the particles. If you want to select one element of a group, you can press Ctrl plus click and it will select the shape you wanted. As you can see, there are layers that you want to be above the cats. So this one, this one, this one. Group them. Let's call it lightnings above. And put it right on the top. Let's group as well our cat. So cat. Nice. Okay, now that we are done with the design parts, let's create a background here. I will choose the color reddish like this. And now it's interactivity time. So the first thing we will do is creating a target that will be linked to our mouse pointing listener. So to do that, just create a group first here. Let's call it in center like this. And let's transform it into a target. Let's use a target triangle, for example. So now you can see here the little icon changed. Let's name it main control. Now we need to create an area where the mouse will be listened. So let's create a rectangle here. Let's call it Hitbox. And let's color so it can be seen very easily. So now let's switch to animate mode. Let's delete that. If you have that, just delete it. So first you will have to select Hitbox. And then create a new listener here and align targets. So our target here will be our main control and set the listen to pointer move. So it will detect the mouse movement and attach our main control to it. Let's select our main control. And now when you press play, you can see here in the property panel that the position will move accordingly to your mouse movement. So it basically follows it. Now we will link some groups to this main one with a translation constraint. Let's hide our hitbox. So let's just reduce the opacity here. Now we can even put it all behind. Okay, now let's select, for example, this lightning. Go to constraints, translation, and target it to our main control. Now you can see it's a bit messy. This is normal. We have to set the strength to something like maybe 4%, maybe less, like 1, because this one element is very big in the foreground. So maybe adjust it like this. Now when you press play, you can see it will move accordingly to the mouse movement with very low force because we set it to 1%. We can of course apply more force, like let's test it for example with this one. Add a constraint, translation, and let's set it to, for example, 6% and target to our main control. And now it will follow even more the mouse. Let's now do this for all the other lightnings and sparkles. And let's change the force to different values so it creates some depth. Okay, great. That looks cool. Now let's do the same about the face. So select the face group and let's apply something like 2%. Now you see the face moving as well. But we want a more 3D look, so maybe let's select the nose and add a constraint as well. And something like 2%. So now when you play it, it will move a bit more than the face itself, and that's cool. Before getting into the eyes, we will make the constraints for the ears. And these constraints are quite different because we want our ears to move in the opposite direction of our face to make a really 3D look. So select our ear and in constraints, in translation, add -2% and target it to our main control. Let's put -2. And same for the left ear. Maybe apply a -4 this time. -4. Maybe put the light in the right ear group as well. The blue lights here. Now let's hit play. For the red stroke, we will use -0.5. Yeah. And for the light here, go into edit mode and change here. Like this. Looks pretty good. Now we can also play with negative values for our sparkles. For example, this one. And let's hit -7, for example. And maybe this one as well. -2. Let's hit play. Yeah. Looks a bit better. Okay, so now we can start doing the eyes. For that we will need to implement some joystick. So just click here. Joysticks are made to control a layer. You can control the X axis and the Y one. So in this case it will be quite handy. So let's get into it. For that we will need to set up timelines. Wait, let's just draw in word space this one. What it actually does is like it stays the same size. Let's just put it very big. Nice. Now let's make our first timeline for X axis. Let's put it here, name it X. And now we will grab our first layer of pupil, which is dark orange, and we will set the X limits of our joystick. Before we can see that here there are some limitations about rotations you need to adjust. So press Y to freeze active, and then you can just adjust your origin point here. Yeah, you can do this for all the other one as well. So Y, rotation. Oh, it's quite good. Okay. Now switch back to animate again, and we will set keyframes for the X position. So here will be left, and here will be right. Make sure to control the X position from the position panel here, because if you control it with this handle, you will have problems later, trust me. Because when you go here, if you have X and Y positions set up, it won't work. The joystick won't work. You need to have only X position here. And when we will create our Y timeline, you will need to have only Y keyframes here as well. So now we've set up our X limits. Let's link our joystick. So here you have X axis, and just put the X timeline here. And now you need to go back to timeline. In timeline, you have to select your joystick. Let's call it joystick timeline. And now you see it moves accordingly. So let's do the same for the Y axis. Create a timeline. Put it here. Name it Y. Now we will set up the Y axis here. Like this. Check if there are no X here and no Y here. And you can now, in the joystick, put Y as well. So now you can see it adjusts automatically. And now in the joystick timeline, you can test it and see if it works. Great. Now let's do the same. We can use the same timeline for the gradient one. So here, go to X and do the same for X-axis for this one. So here, and here on the Y-axis. And now go back to the joystick timeline and test it. Great. Now you can do the same for the sparkle. And I see there is no clip on the white one. It's clipped to the gradient. You need to clip it to the white eyeball. So not in the animate mode, but in design. Let's remove this and clip it to the white eyeball. Check again if it's only X-axis and then Y. And let's do the same for the little reflection here. And also clip it to the white eyeball. Now let's test it. So let's go back to our joystick and you can see here moving. Maybe the sparkle is not really good. Let's change the sparkle. Yeah, now it's way better. Now let's do the same for the right eye and we can actually use the same joystick. Let's change for this sparkle, the origin point rotation. Let's clip it as well. Clip to eyeball. And now you have two eyes moving. That's great. Maybe we could even put this one, but very lightly. For example, here it would be X minus 1, and here maybe like this, and for Y let's do the same here. I mean, why not? Why not? Okay, now we want to link our joystick to the main control. So when we play, we want the joystick to follow the cursor. For that, you will need to put the joystick right in the center. Let's set it to 1000 or maybe a bit more, like maybe, yeah, like this. And let's center it. So right in the middle here, like this. Nice. And now we will just target our main control here, so that when we press play, let's hide our joystick first. So now when we press play, it will move the two eyes as well. That's it for my tutorial. I hope you like it and thanks for watching.